So how many dangerous stunts were there?
Dangerous stunts.
That's the terminology because there are many.
Maybe dangerous enough to you.
Well, that's a hard definition to make, but I mean, most of the action was because we had.
Hard to say. It's when you stick your finger in a socket, is it safe? Is it not safe? Who can say these?
Jumping off a building, you know. I mean,
We also lost that training.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, Ted had to run through weeds, and there was a moment you almost stumbled. I remember. You broke your neck at that point. You had
Yeah, those are the stunts they were asking about.
That was very dangerous for Ted.
And then there was remember when they pulled you out of the trunk? That was. I mean, you're lucky to be walking right now.
Yeah, I'm lucky to be walking.
Is there any more questions for Ted about stunts?
Wow, sorry I said anything.
I don't know. Do I just keep answering or do I say? I'm like, but anyway, back to me. Seriously, no. I mean, you know, we had a small budget and we had a really tight shooting schedule. So for me, it was like one of the conversations we had really early on was if I'm going to do action, it needs to be comfortably fitting within the budget and the time frame so that we're not overextending and we're not ending up with cheap, nasty, cheesy stuff that I would get annoyed watching, right? So it was like, it needs to be hand to hand, it needs to be low profile, and it needs to be contained, and we need someone solid doing it. We ended up with a guy called Ron Yuan, who's fucking incredible. And you can quote me with the fucking incredible title. Ron Yuan. And fucking... yeah.
Was that double barrel?
Yeah, last name fucking incredible.
The third.
Junior. And but so, you know, most of it wasn't exactly dangerous as much as it is like it's with the fast turnover and it's all me, so like if I get nailed, I get nailed. So it's like you kind of got to be careful with me so that we can use me again in the next shot, but at the same time you can't be too careful with me because it's going to translate, and if it looks lame, I'm going to be upset. Like everyone will be, but I will be particularly upset. But in terms of like big gags, we did like a fall out of a 3-story window onto the roof of a car, and that was like our biggest sort of, required some budget and some time. It required hours of setup. We had a crane and wires, and there were 2 of us. But that was it. It was like, if we're going to do something like that, then we need to sink all the money into that, and we need to keep everything else solid and tight and real and respectable. So hopefully that's what came out of that. I don't know why that little twist with the thing is
Nice twist. Yeah.
That was, and that's that. So there you go.
It must have gone very smoothly.
Yeah. Do you know, it sort of happened a little bit, and I know we're done, so I can't really jinx it anymore, so I'm going to carry on with that. I'm like, wait, don't jinx it, it's done. But everything sort of, the idea sprung up, and then Ed was sort of contacted, and I was contacted, and everything sort of just, and then it was greenlit, and it was go, and we had the money, and everyone's like, wait a minute, what do you mean it's greenlit? What do you mean we got the money? What do you mean he said yes, and she said yes? What? Like, that doesn't normally happen that way. It's normally a lot of hurdles, and a lot of bullshit, and a lot of bureaucracy, but it all kind of, and the shoot kind of went the same. I mean, we were on a tight schedule, so there were often times when we were like, suddenly going, oh my god, if any of this fight gets cut, I'm going to be so upset, but I'm the actor, so I have to let that go. And you know, there was lots of internal battles like that, but for the most part, it was, Paul, unfortunately, had a root canal episode that stretched on and off over a couple of days where he was, I mean, he got drilled by a bad tooth, and I mean, it was really, really unfortunate. He came in all fat-faced one day, and I was like, I'd laugh, but I get that it's just not funny at all. So I'm going to reserve that till afterwards. Normally I would just laugh. But aside from that, it was like everything went, like, strangely smoothly, you know, and it was fun and good. And I mean, I even say it with a frown. I should be like, it was fun, but yeah, it was impressive that whoever was around was like, yeah, we'll just let that one happen. We won't give these guys shit. They're doing for $1 million. They got 3 weeks. Let's just let them. The powers that be were like, go.
Well, to any of you guys, how did you feel about the webisode in that aspect of the project, and then now that it's out on DVD and you've seen the full thing, how does it play? How do you feel it plays as a full piece?
Well, you guys should answer that question. That's really more your picture than mine, isn't it?
I've seen it.
You've seen the whole thing as a feature, yeah. Go.
It's terrible. Don't get it. Boring. Oh my god. No, I mean, I know for me, like, when I went in for the meeting with all the people that were already involved, I walked out of the meeting and I was like, holy shit, that's the kind of thing I want to be involved with. I want to be involved in something that the character's fascinating, the storyline is clever, the people that are involved are smart and passionate and really genuinely want this thing to happen in the same way that I feel about it, and that's what I want to work with. Whether it was TV or movies or web or was sort of irrelevant to me. I mean, there's lots of battles of trying to figure out how to make these things work on the internet and how to make money and how to promote it and how to not, you know. Fortunately for me, that's not my department because I'd be really shit at that side of the job, but watching it go through its developmental, I'm German apparently, and English is now my second language, developmental stages is like watching the ratings and how many people ended up watching it. We were all like, what? Really?
Right, yeah.
Holy crap. And it just kept, you know, but how to make that into something else. And then when it comes to DVD, it was always meant to be a feature. It was always going to be put together as a feature. So what was almost impressive to me was watching it be split into these
webisodes, exactly.
Yeah, and have those webisodes be able to stand alone was like,
from the standpoint of an actor, it sort of, Sony really likes this model. They feel they can make money at it, and that's something that all internet companies have had a great deal of problems with, how to make it profitable on the web. Despite sponsorship from major corporations, they still have had no luck. So many companies are giving up, but this model seems to be working. And so it's interesting that you might look at it as this is the beginning of the end of the Wild West of the web. If this is a format that can make money, other major networks will say, well, let's do it like they're doing it. Right. Sort of like what radio was back in the mid-20s before there was any formats or shows. People would stick microphones out the window. And local guys would get on, I'm Ron Johnson of Johnson Engine. You know, they didn't really know what they were doing. And now, of course, it's taped and it's all formatted for the last 78 years. But I think that's kind of what it is now. But I think this is sort of the end of the Wild West of the web. Maybe, if this is as successful as it looks like it might be.
And it was shot as a feature film and as webisodes. Paul was saying earlier today that they did indeed shoot knowing where they had to make their webisode breaks, so they had to end with some kind of a reaction shot or a close-up or a dramatic, you know, that ends a webisode. But also it's been re-edited though now with other footage and other music that keeps it more cohesive as a feature film. So you'll be
it
seeing
definitely
some,
reads as a feature film, and I find it impossible to be objective, especially about this project. But I walked out and I was like,
yeah,
that's a movie.
That's a movie. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like pleasantly, I wouldn't say surprised. Well, yeah, I was very pleasantly surprised. I was like, yeah, we did that.
So you'll be seeing things on the DVD that were different from what the webisodes were. Yeah, a little bit.
Are you going to stay in the action genre, or do you want to move into things a little more, I won't say serious.
I'm going Shakespeare as my next.
All right, which one?
Go straight to King Lear. I'm going to be King Lear. No, I'm messing with you.
Odd.
I mean, you're like, interesting.
That's right.
No, I mean, I think for me, you know, action is obviously something I'm comfortable with. It's something that people are comfortable casting me at, and it's something that I have a lot of experience with, and I love it. So I'm not unhappy about that being a prospect, and I just feel like there's a niche there that there wasn't before, and
When you're finished.
really, and that's
Wrap it up.
No, yeah, exactly. But I love the idea of comedy. Comedy totally appeals to me. I would love to do comedy. Drama, after doing Angel of Death, I was like, wow, that's kind of scary and cool fun, and I would love to do more of that. So it's sort of, I'm open to anything, but I understand that to build a reputation and less of a risk factor for the people that are putting money in, because they're all about what's a risk and what's not. The action thing is definitely probably where it's going to start for me, and I'm hardly going to complain about that. You know what I mean? I mean, I love doing that stuff, but I do like the idea of doing other stuff as well.